Hey, this is Adam McKay.
And this is Will Ferrell. Thanks for downloading this podcast on podcastone.com.
You didn't have to do it, and we appreciate it. We appreciate your time and your consideration.
You're busy. You got better things to do. And please go see Anchorman 2. That's the other thing we wanted to tell you.
We wanted to say that so you go see it. You know what? You don't have to, though, honestly.
You already downloaded this.
That's probably
enough. But if you get some more energy, if you feel like doing an additional thing, go see Anchorman 2. No pressure. Totally up to you.
Anchorman 2 is in theaters Friday, December 20th. PodcastOne.com is available right now.
Fox Sunday. Don't miss the world premiere of Almost Human. In the year 2046, Detective John Kennicks was ambushed and left for dead. Now, as he returns to the force, it will take a machine.
I'm Dorian.
Are you a robot?
Yes, I am.
I'm not driving with one of those things.
To bring him back to life.
I can't say that I was born, but I was made to feel.
Fantastic. I get the synthetic with the bleeding heart.
Almost Human, premiering Sunday on Fox.
The following program is a PodcastOne.com production. PodcastOne.com presents the Ask Women Podcast. A place where two female comics and a professional wing girl get together to dissect the female mind.
You don't know how I feel.
And explain it to men in terms they can actually understand. Booze. Now, here's the lovely ladies of Ask Women.
Hey, everyone. Welcome to the Ask Women podcast, where you get real advice straight from the source. I'm Kristen Carney, one of your lovely ladies, along with Marni Kinrys, relationship expert and best-selling author. And we have Mo, Les's Mo, as I like to say.
Yep.
Mo's in the house. And then, of course, our producer, Nate.
Hello.
Nathaniel. Who I didn't introduce last week, who I feel really sad about. So, anyway, here he is. He's here.
Here he is.
He's here. I just want to say, hey, thanks to our sponsors and supporting our sponsors. Make sure you guys go to our Amazon page on the Podcast One page and click on that and do your shopping. And shop with no pants.
And also, shop with no pants. But
because you shop at home, no pants.
It's you don't need to.
No.
I work with no pants.
Exactly. That's what you're doing right now. And that's why I'm always in such a good mood at the beginning of this podcast.
It's me and my panties at the Ask Women podcast.
Also, follow us on Twitter.
Yeah.
That's a great way to ask us questions that get read right away.
It's also a great way to make us look cool. Because, let's be honest here.
Yeah, that's why we want you to ask questions on there. We want to see activity on our Twitter page.
Right. Well, we have a really fun episode coming up. We have a guest coming in, Neil Brennan, who is a hilarious comedian. He's my favorite out there. He has a podcast with a fellow comedian, Masha Kasher, called The Champs, which is a really, 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 really funny podcast.
I listened to a little bit, and I watched his stand-up. He's funny.
Oh, good.
Yeah, I got prepared this week.
Yeah, good. I'm impressed. And he also co-created The Chappelle Show, and he's a director, etc. So he's really fun. So excited to have him here. And I don't know, Marnie's ready to throw down about cleaning.
Yeah, and get pissed off right now.
Yeah.
So actually, you know what? When I first talked to you about this topic that I wanted to bring up this week, I was really upset because my husband and I were in the heat of a discussion.
Not in heat, but
we were in heat. Yes, we were in heat. Throwback to last week's episode.
Right.
But no, we were having some difficulty because, and I know that this is a common issue for a lot of men and a lot of women. I've actually been reading about it online and in different books, and I think it sadly is the demise of a lot of relationships, but it is an unequal balance of household chores. And we talk about being turned on all the time, from emptying the dishwasher. And that is actually a very true statement. So my husband and I had a discussion the other day about, being fair with the household chores, because he does not do as much as I do, and
this podcast could not be more opposite than our podcast from last week.
I know.
Yeah.
We're like talking fantasy,
so unsexy,
getting it on, and we're like clean the house.
Right.
But the thing is that I don't want to get down on men for this. This show is obviously supposed to educate you so you can work better with women, and for women as well, like having a voice and understanding men from the other side, which is why we have Mo here.
Yeah, I won't let you get down on men this episode.
Well, I don't want to
get
down on men either. And so for me, I want to understand, the biological reason behind why men actually don't notice that there's dirt on the counter, why they step over the laundry basket on the way to the bedroom, but will pick up the magazine that's right beside the laundry basket to go to the bathroom. Like, I wanted to understand these things. So I Googled why husbands don't help, and I found tons of shit out there. And honestly, I started crying when I read these responses, and it was just really sad. There's like a lot of angry women, obviously, but it was talking about how there's like one stat that I read, but basically they did this survey of 1,000 women, and 43% of these women are irate with their husband once a week because of the imbalance of household chores. And a lot of women don't say these things, but it comes out in other negative ways. Yeah. Belittling, nagging, whatever it is.
No sex.
No sex, exactly.
Just throwing things violently in the trash is what I do.
Right. I know that it's a big thing in relationships. It may have been a big thing in your past relationship. It may be a big thing in your relationship right now. But I did want to talk to Mo because you are the man. Well,
it's interesting to talk to Mo, too, because he is always so well pressed in his dress. Like, his clothes are always nice and ironed, and his head is always shiny. Are you a cleaner of, like, men? Yo, some men can groom themselves, but are they grooming their homes as well?
Let me tell you something. When I wake up, my shirt is nicely pressed by my woman, or she gonna get smacked. No, that's not how it is. But look, this works. Men really need to realize it's like a roommate situation, right? If you're a sloppy roommate, it's going to create a bad vibe at the house.
Oh, yeah.
And it just comes down to respect, okay? There are certain things that I feel like I don't need to do as a man. And look, and we could talk about where it comes back to. You know, you could go back to the old hunter-gatherers that lived in these nomadic lives, and the women would take care of the village while the man was out hunting and doing shit like that. Well,
Dr. Mo.
Dr. Mo over here. But no, but now, it's different now. But what we need to understand is, like, look, okay, we want our women to clean, and I think if your woman's not working and you're supporting her, then yes, she should be doing those things. But if she is equally supporting the household, then you better start carrying your weight.
Well, I
and
think
that's happening
actually
more.
That's an issue that I know I've had with my boyfriend living together, is that he makes a decent amount of money. I make a little bit of money, so it's like it's not an even threshold. He's working all the time until super late. And so then I feel guilty saying, it would be nice if you changed the cat's litter box this time, because I've done it like the past 30 times. But then I'm like, well, he has been at work all day. I actually, I worked, but now I've been back hours before him, and I've been sitting here watching TV, and it's like I don't want to bring it up because I know he's doing a lot on his end in his own personal way, but then I get resentful that he won't even think about doing it.
Right.
And the things that you get resentful about are probably the little things that you've brought up to him. Like one thing I used to do is I used to leave the toilet seat up. Pissed my girl off. Like, she would get livid. And it got to the point where one day she slammed. She's like, God damn it, you always leave the toilet seat up. I'm like, oh, shit, she takes that pretty personally.
Right.
Now and it's not hard for me to put it down. Okay, I just got to break my old habit. So now I put it down. She's totally happy.
Right, and that's the thing, too, is it's habits. And I've said, like, for example, when you walk in, there's a place to hang your keys. And every day when my boyfriend comes home, he throws his keys on the counter. And I hear that smack of the key on the counter, and I'm like, you motherfucker. I've literally said it 1,000 times. And it's not like, I've asked him, are you doing this to, like, make me angry? Like, are you actually trying to make me angry? He's like, no, I don't even think about it. I'm like, so when you have keys in your hand and you know that someone has said, please just hang them up probably 1,000 times since last year, that doesn't cross your mind once? Like, for a girl, it's really hard to even believe that bullshit. But I think it's actually true.
No, I think it is true. That's
like,
the
you
thing.
actually don't think about it.
But that's the thing. So anytime, so habits are habitual. You can create them. You can break them. You can alter them. That's the interesting thing. Most people don't think that they can alter their behavior, but you can absolutely alter your behavior. But it takes being present. So for me, I had the key situation before, and it would drive my husband crazy because every day I would say, Jordan, where are my keys? And he'd be like, if you left them in the same spot every day like I do, you wouldn't have an issue with it. And finally, I'm like, okay, I am going to train myself to put my keys in the same place every day. So I would walk in, I'd throw them somewhere, and I'd stop myself. I would grab the keys and go put them on this little dish that I had bought to put my keys on. And after a week, it became habitual. So if I didn't go there, right away my brain would trigger to go put the keys there. And so for a lot of...
But that's your desire because you had some negative consequences for not knowing where your keys were. Whereas like my boyfriend knows exactly where his keys are. are. He knows they're on the counter.
But the negative consequences is you hating him and withholding sex.
Right, but that's true. But it doesn't occur to him in the moment, so he's not going, you know what, I really want to make an effort to put my keys up here. It doesn't even cross his mind.
Right. Well, that's why I think that this would be a great topic to discuss for this chapter in The Man's Playbook.
On this team, we fight for that inch. On this team, we tear ourselves and everyone else around us to pieces for that inch. We claw with our fingernails for that inch. Because we know when we add up all those inches, that's gonna make the fucking difference between winning and losing.
So what we were talking about before is really listening to your significant other, which is really important. And there's a lot of subtle things that are being tossed around. But if you are going to
hate,
be... Yes,
anger,
exactly.
Deep-seated
But this
issues.
is where it all starts to come from. You start to, at first things start to slightly bother you, and then you voice them to your partner, and they don't really acknowledge it, or they don't try to alter their behavior. And sometimes they don't have to alter their behaviors because you said so. But if it's something that's bothering your partner, you can really talk about it, and then you can work on how to change that behavior. But if you consistently sort of ignore that behavior, it's like a slap in the face to the other person, a disrespect, which builds tension. And when you have tension, especially with women, that's when nagging and belittling starts to happen.
Well, and that's also the problem, is that when a woman tries to bring up, this upsets me when you leave the pan on the counter filled with water for 3 days because you're saying you're soaking it.
Yeah.
When we bring that up, we're not nagging. We're actually just bringing it up because we want to change the behavior. And what happens is guys instantly are like, okay, all right, okay, I'll try to shut you up.
And I hate that.
And it's like, no, I'm not nagging. I will nag now in 2 weeks when you've done it again because you didn't listen the first time because you shut me up the first time by assuming I was nagging. When, the woman needs to be allowed to communicate what is bothering her. And that builds a lot of tension. When just because we're communicating something doesn't mean we're nagging.
That's actually a really good point.
Something.
Because that is my main fear with bringing things up, is that I go overboard to make sure that I'm not having that nagging voice. But I think for my husband especially, he's somebody who's very focused on doing things right all the time. He's a producer. So his job is to spot the negative holes, see how things can be avoided to screw up. So that's why he lives his life. So if he's constantly trying to do that with me and I point something out, it's like a big stab in the heart to him. So right away, that's like an insult to him. And he tries really hard to not be insulted by it, but he is. And for me, that hurts me to see that I've hurt him, and it stops me from communicating as quickly as I could be. Yeah, you're like, I love doing it. But actually, so when I first brought this up, I was in the heat of the moment. I was really pissed off. But now we've actually worked through this issue. So what I did was I took the articles that I found online, and one of them was from CNN.com, which I know that he really values and respects prestigious websites, not like, I just sent him to toadhusbands.com, whatever, exactly, where like a woman's bitching and ranting and raving.
If Wolf Blitzer says it, it must be true.
Yeah, exactly. So I wrote him an email and I said, I really wanted to get to the bottom of this. I really wanted to find out the biological reason as to why this is not a top priority for you, because I want to understand it. I want to understand you. And I stumbled upon these articles and I started crying when I read them. They really affected me. I don't want us to become one of these couples. And I don't want to be seen as the wife who does the chores and you're the husband who's like the dumb bimbo like they show on TV. I don't want us to be that couple. And he read the articles yesterday. I asked him to read them. He wrote back and said, I will read these by the end of the day. So we sat down for dinner and he said, okay, I read the articles, and he's like, I fucked up. He's like, you know what? I was really embarrassed the other day when you brought this up because I don't do as much as you do. It's horrible. It's really unfair to you that I don't do as much as you do. And then we talked about what we can do so that, he doesn't feel like he's overwhelmed with work all the time and then has to do chores. And I don't feel like all the chores are being pushed onto me because I have a little bit more free time than he does, exactly like we were saying before. And so we're still working out that process right now. But I think the fact that I sort of gave him that room to look at the material and understand it from somebody else's point of view and see statistics on it, that really helps him understand rather than him being on the defense. when we're talking face to face. And it really, really has helped. And I loved the way that he came to me yesterday and expressed himself. So it was awesome.
And look, men, women are going to bitch. Women just bitch about stuff all the time. It's in their DNA. If they're not bitching about you leaving the dishes on the kitchen table, then they're going to bitch about their friend Sally that didn't call her, or this other person that didn't do this.
Bitching is so much fun, by the way.
It's just part of
it.
Yeah,
jump on board.
Yeah.
So the best thing you can do is just not be the one they bitch about.
Right.
And by look,
that's true.
Just help out a little bit here and there, even if it's something so little. It goes a long way for women because it shows, oh, he does care about me. He listens to me. Okay, I'm going to go clean the toilet now. You know, that's like how women are. You know, if you show them that you care, then they're going to go above and beyond
and that you
for
listen,
you.
especially.
And that you listen.
There's this article that I send to a lot of the people that write into me that ask about, like, they're in a divorce and they want to, start dating again, or they're having difficulty with their wife, and they want to reignite the spark. And I say, go read this article. It's called How to Find the Perfect Mate, or How to Select the Right Mate. And it's an article that I read in Psychology Today, but it's on my website. And it's written from a man's point of view, and he talks about separating from his wife. And until he separated, he didn't realize what was actually going on in his marriage and the difficulty that him and his wife were having. Where she would say to him all the time, I feel like a single parent. I feel like I'm like a single mother. I'm by myself. And he would think, I go to work, I come home, I read to the kids, they're in bed, the day is done. I've done my tasks for the day. But what he wasn't hearing was that his wife made all the decisions for the household. She did all the food shopping. She did all the cleaning. He came home and didn't care about things. She had to do all the homework for the kids. She had to do all the parenting because, he just came home and read the books to the kids, which I think is a great thing to do with parenting, but he wasn't being the partner. And I think that's really important for women because I think a lot of the times, and I know that I have this as well in my own marriage, that there are certain times where it does feel there is an imbalance, and I don't feel like I have a partner in the relationship. But then usually when we communicate, then we get back to that partnership. So I think constant communication is really helpful. Another thing that I stumbled upon, which I think was really sad, actually, but it was this WikiHow for, how to get husbands to do things. And honestly, it just paints men as if they are the biggest freaking morons in the entire world. And I know they're not.
No, we're not.
I watch my husband. He is the best.
Yes, we are.
No, you're not. The thing is, you're not. Like, I watch my husband as a producer. He is the best producer. I am so turned on by him in the room. He can run a room of 50 people and know what is going on. A live production. He's so impressive. And the fact that if I wanted him to do household work, I would have to break down the information to this way that's described in the article. And actually, let me pull it up for you.
It's like step one.
And while she's bringing that up, Kristen, I want to talk to you about this.
Don't talk to me about anything.
Okay, I won't. But no, you said your boyfriend works a lot during the day, right?
Mm-hmm.
Does he communicate what he does at work to you?
That really helps too.
Because I feel some men don't, and because of it, the women, they're so used to communicating what they do, the men don't, so the women just factor they don't do nothing.
Yeah, he holds it all back. He doesn't really talk about it, and so when he does talk about it, I get a better idea of how frustrating his job is and stuff. But he chooses not to speak about it, and if I bring it up, it's like, oh yeah, and then
But then you don't have an understanding. That's the whole thing.
And then you
so I do have an understanding, but he also it's like you need to have an understanding of each other, and I know he goes above and beyond to understand me, and I don't necessarily always go above and beyond to understand him. But there's little things that neither of us feel respected for or by, like, for example, every morning he leaves a giant jug of mouthwash on the kitchen counter, and I have asked over and over to put that away just because it really annoys me that every morning the first thing I have to do in the morning is see this on the counter and put it away. It's like I just don't want to start my day off by doing something like that, and I've expressed that, and it's like he doesn't listen and do it, so then I feel like he's disrespecting something that's important to me.
Right.
And so then it creates this ongoing...
You know what you should do? You should leave your new dildo right by it every morning.
Seriously, because this is what's replacing you if you don't start putting that fucking.
You know what I'm going to do? I'm just going to cut up the dildo and sprinkle it in there so that every morning he's swashing around a dildo in his mouth.
There you go.
Chugging plastic penis.
I want to read one of the steps for this from WikiHow.
Your breath has never smelled better.
Okay, so this is step number 2. Define easy, moderate, and difficult tasks. Rate each task by considering how time-consuming it is, how strenuous, and how often it must be performed.
This is 1952.
For example, washing the floors may be a moderately difficult task, with mopping, sweeping, and waxing. When writing up the list, consider items that can make cleaning easier. For example, can you upgrade the vacuum cleaner or get better detergent? These can be excellent tasks to assign to your husband, making him feel that he has bought the item. The items can give him a greater sense of pride. It's so horrible.
Yeah, it's awful.
It really is. And I know that men are so much smarter than this. And I hate. It sucks because I did take this course called Understanding Men. It's by Alison Armstrong. It's called PAX. It is phenomenal. But I almost did leave the seminar because in the first half, and there are people who left after this statement, she had said in order to, make your relationship work with men, you have to give them what they want first, and then they will give back to you. For me, in the very beginning, I was like, wait a second. So I've got to do all this shit in order for him to want to give back to me. And then once you get into the course, it makes complete sense. It's just ultimately about appreciating people because he should be doing the same thing as well. But when I read articles like that, it's like we have to treat men like children. And I don't want men to be thought of that way because you guys are running the world.
But the reality is, for example, we've said this before when we've said it several times. When they showed on whatever TV show I saw this on, a red image on the screen,
right?
Women could detect, I think, 7 different shades of red. Men could detect 1. So the thing is, even though it sounds like that type of article or those types of help things set us back a little bit and make it feel like 1950, the bottom line is you might have to treat men like children when it comes to this because that is their intellect level of that type of stuff. I mean, honestly,
yes.
The thing is, I know there's women who know how to work cars and shit, but I'm not one of them. If you try to explain to me anything about the way a car works or the way even a bicycle works, you have to explain it in elementary level.
Right.
And I mean, so I can understand why they're saying this.
That's
as a woman, it's just kind of it seems so obvious.
Yeah, second nature.
You don't need a fancy freaking vacuum. If it gets the stuff off the floor, it gets stuff off the floor. But for me, it's if you wanted to teach me anything about a car, it'd be more fun to have a cool, fun, fancy car.
You know what? That's actually a really good point.
So
maybe I won't make fun of this as much because it is true. It's anything that is natural to somebody isn't natural for somebody else. So if you're trying to get somebody to do something that isn't natural for them,
it's
fine.
teaching me division at age 30.
Yeah,
basically.
But then once it's taught,
you have to dumb it down because I'm horrible at math.
Right, but then once it's taught, you have to work together to make sure it's maintained afterwards.
What women don't understand about men is we're very much reward based. Right? We play sports because if we win,
we reward you with a treat
win.
After this podcast.
That's basically it. You feed me food and I work for free.
Right.
But no, look, with sports, men play sports because they want to win. It's reward based. If I play this and I win, I feel good, right? If I do this thing in business, I'm going to receive money. It's reward based. I work hard, I get my raise. Well, women need to understand if you want us to clean around the house, there better be a blowjob coupon for vacuuming, and there better be.
But that is so dumb.
I know
the idea of it is
dumb.
just so dumb.
But I guess I'm trying to think of in reverse. What do you want us to do?
Women.
Oh, actually, so if you want the house clean, then he could offer Or wait, I'm trying to think of how to.
Well, it would just be switching. It would be switching. If I wanted the house clean,
then you get a vacuum coupon or something. He would give you a vacuum coupon so that you would have sex with him, basically.
Right,
yeah,
basically.
I guess that makes sense.
Look, it's if you clean the house, I'll give you a purse coupon. You could go buy a purse. Something along.
It just seems like in 2013 we should operate on a higher level. But I also, though...
We're all
dumb apes. We're all dumb apes.
We are
Not
dumb
men.
apes.
I'm saying women and men. We're all animals.
But I'm a huge fan of Adam Carolla. And Adam, always talks about the blurring of the lines between men and women. And we all have to be the same, and we all have to all be allowed to play football, and I don't he hates that, and I also hate that. So I don't want to say men should be the breadwinners and women should be cleaning, because when it comes to my own relationship, it bothers me that would be the situation. But I think it's just the people don't know, at this point that we're in society, people don't know their place exactly anymore. Yeah. And so, I mean, back in 1960, you knew, and, and whatever. Now we're trying to figure it out as we go.
But look, right now, I know you say, oh, well, men, sex, I'm not going to give him sex for cleaning. But guess what? You are not giving him sex for not cleaning. So
that's true. Honestly, my view on this is actually changing a lot. I'm being educated right now, because it is really interesting I think you have to figure out what works. Same thing with children things, but men have to do it to us as well.
And what women don't understand, if you have a man by his balls, you own him. I don't like thinking of it that way, though. He will do anything for you. He will bring the world to you. That's why someone like the most intriguing women are like these Marilyn Monroe type sexy figures who just knew how to get to a man's junk and get his feelings going, and because of that, they're able to conquer the world. So women need to, and I feel for a woman, that's kind of empowering and sexy for her.
As long as it's not manipulation. I always talk about intention. As long as you're not, I feel like it's
But it's all manipulation at the end of the day, isn't it?
But I don't like it. I guess it's the way that you have to think about it.
Yeah.
Because if I'm okay, I know that he will do, maybe it's not a bad thing. I don't know. Now everything's going screwy.
If you give him sex for cleaning up the house and it fixes it, right? And so all these things are fixed, and he's getting, you guys are having more sex.
I'll tell you the problem with that, though. I'll tell you the problem with that, though, is that
she's miserable.
Yeah, I mean, it's not going to be it might not be the greatest sex because you feel like I'm doing this out of duty.
But I guess you can't look at it like that.
And also,
you can look at it like, oh, I'm so excited. He just vacuumed or put his mouth.
But it's not. That's not a long.
Boy.
To me, it just doesn't seem like a long-term solution. It's not going to get him in the habit of cleaning.
It might.
It might.
It might train him. It may actually.
Because once
just like my keys.
We're so. Right. That's how dumb we are as men. We think of sex first.
That's how dumb we are as women
second,
too.
And then third, we think of sports, and that's about our. That's our.
You know
mind.
what? You know what? What guys just need to find a girl that's messy and doesn't care how the house looks.
Yeah, they're not going to find that.
No,
it's not going to happen.
I've seen so many homes that I'm like,
although my sister is filthy. My sister is a gross girl.
Or just man up and pay for someone to come in once every 2 weeks and do the heavy duty.
Well, that's the whole thing, because my husband was saying, well, why don't we just get a maid? I'm like, then you call the maid. You call her then. Why is it my job to call her? But I think we're beating a dead horse here. I think, the main thing is that you
Talk
both
about
have to
cleaning up a dead horse. That'd
exactly. But you both have to do your share. Listen, for some people, it's not going to be a top priority for them to clean up. So now I'm going totally against what I was thinking before about WikiHow. But maybe you do have to make it more fun for people so that it can naturally become a way where they think positively about cleaning. Either they get sex for cleaning, they get a chocolate chip cookie, they get to watch sports for 2 hours by themselves while you go out of the house and don't talk to them.
I think your issue is the initiative. You want initiative to be taken. Right. And when you have to do all the directing, like this weekend, I left my boyfriend a list because he said, when I was younger, my mom cleaned up after me no matter what I did, but on the weekends, she would leave me a list. I would go through the list and I would get everything done. And he said, that's what I need. And so I've not wanted to do the list because I'm like, I don't want to sit down and actually brainstorm what I need you to do. Right. I want you to just do some stuff. But then this weekend I was leaving. I knew whatever, wrote the list. When I came home, he pointed at the piece of paper. Everything was crossed off.
Awesome.
See, that's it.
And so it's you need to find what works.
Did you have sex after that?
No. We actually had a huge fight.
That wasn't part of the contract.
No, that was not on the to-do list.
Yeah. Damn know what would be helpful, though? If he said, okay, I've got a pen and paper, tell me what needs to be done. And he wrote down the list. That would be a turn on. Then you'd have sex
something like that.
Home.
Right. That's interesting.
What if I had left you a list that said,
you don't know how to write.
Blowjob,
suck my toes, lick my anus.
Orange juice in the morning when I wake up, lick my anus right after. If I left you that list, I'm just saying, would you check it off?
No, of course not. Don't ask redundant questions.
I ain't checking off your list.
Okay, bitch.
But that is interesting. You do have to see, the fact is you have certain needs that you expect him to fulfill, but you don't want to fulfill his needs.
Of course not.
If I get my list,
not your boyfriend.
If I just got that list checked off, I'm gonna clean the house, I'm gonna vacuum, I'm gonna do everything. I'm gonna leave flowers.
This is interesting. Okay, I was watching Shark Tank the other night, and these people came on to the show who they weren't relationship experts or anything, but they had developed this system for communicating in the household.
Oh my God! Don't say the elephant.
Oh, the elephant! You saw it. They literally made a $70 stuffed animal. And basically, whatever the issue is around the house, they stick the elephant, so it's the elephant in the room, and then they will communicate about it. I thought it was kind of hokey, but kind of actually a good idea. I would never pay $70 for it. It's ridiculous. But at the same time, it's like kind of what we're talking about like bringing up the elephants that are in the room. There's certain needs that need to be met from both sides, and there has to be compromise. So it's like, okay, I might not be able to check off your full list of like toe sucking, anus licking, penis blowing, sex 3 times a week, and orange juice.
What
but
order
I can
is
do
that
2
in,
of those, and then you
list?
have your list of like vacuuming, not leaving your mouthwash. Like that's where the compromise comes in, and you figure out how to balance it. But I think that for a lot of women, I will say this is the message that I want to get across to men. Women don't always want to be the leaders in this stuff. They want your assistance as well. And I love that men are fixers. I think it's great. Yeah. But it would be great if men also brought these things to the table and offered suggestions on how to have that compromise be there. I think that's the message that I want people to walk away with in this. That I think you'll end up having better sex lives and happier marriages if there's constant communication, even if you had one day a week where you have like a check-in.
And if your woman's punishing you, there's a reason why. It's probably because you're leaving a dish on the counter.
Yep, absolutely. All right, well, that wraps up this chapter in The Man's
I really hope
Playbook.
my boyfriend doesn't listen to this episode.
I know. You're going to be like, stop doing this show.
Does.
Maybe he
knows
will.
How much
just like sending the articles that I sent over. Exactly.
Just give him my number. I'll help him write the list.
Exactly.
You guys would just talk about pussies.
Well, coming up next, who do we have on the show?
We have Neil Brennan. And
Neil Brennan.
He'll be here very shortly.
Wonderful.
I'm excited to talk to him.
All right, and we have Analyze This coming up soon. Okay, so my computer sucks. It's only about 2 years old, but it is like ready to go in the trash. Last night, I was working on a document that I've been working on for a very, very, very freaking long time. And suddenly my computer crashes and I lose all the work that I had been doing for the past 2 hours.
Traumatizing.
Horrible. And I'm so dumb because usually like I save but this time I didn't for some reason because I was just in a flow. And when that happens, you're in such a flow you don't want to save anything. So my computer shuts down and I lost all of the work, which is insane.
Hopefully you have anxiety medication to take when that happens.
Oh, I literally went to bed afterwards and I cried for about 3 hours. But this will never happen again because one of our sponsors, which is called Carbonite, they actually have a full backup system for your computer. And it's absolutely amazing. Like while you're doing your work, it's constantly backing up and creating.
Yeah, so you should have had it. Why?
I know.
What are you doing?
Because honestly, I'm going to set it up today, but I hadn't set it up yet.
Well, the thing is, it's really super easy to set up. Basically, because when I first heard of it, I was thinking, well, do I have to, take every single item from my computer and put it in this system that I want to save? But you don't. You just download the program and it just constantly checks your computer for new things and it pulls everything off of your computer on its own. I mean, if you do it, it might take a little while, just for the actual process to happen. I don't know.
Yeah. So it says even with Carbonite, you can access backed up files instantly on any computer or on your smartphone or tablet with a free Carbonite app. It basically backs it up to a cloud-like space, and you have all of those files there. It's not a storing system, so if I create a file right now and I delete it in 3 months, it's not going to be there, but it's a backup system for what you are currently working on and what is on your computer right now, which is absolutely amazing. Right. And people who listen to this show...
I wonder how many suicides would have been prevented because of Carbonite.
100%.
No, I'm telling you.
100%.
It's that traumatizing. We live in that kind of world where you need your stuff. If you don't have your stuff, it's I wish I had a Carbonite for my keys that I've lost 30 times, and I'm please help me, someone. So,
I wish I had it in college because I lost a lot of papers when I was younger in college. But so if you listen to our podcast, you can start your free trial today at Carbonite.com. No credit card required. It's completely free. A free trial.
Use offer code WOMEN
and get 2 free bonus months if you decide to buy.
Carbonite.com, offer code WOMEN.
Hey guys, Brandy Glanville, Unfiltered. Number 2, I have 2 amazing guests. Gigi, the angry Persian from Shahs of Sunset. Supposedly the Persian version of me, although I don't claim collect knives. Then we have ex-NFL star Drew Carter. Bear with me because this is only number 2, and I'm not Howard Stern yet, but I'm on his ass. Brandy Glanville, Unfiltered on podcast1.com.
So I finally given in to my husband, and I am going to go get a pair of glasses because he's very worried about me when I drive at night.
Really?
Because I drive really close up to the steering wheel, and I'm staring at street signs because I can't see them until I've literally passed them.
Until you've run into other cars.
Yeah, it's horrible. So I am going to get a pair of glasses, and luckily we have one of our sponsors, AC Lens, and they have an online website where you can go on, you can look at like thousands of pairs of glasses and choose from those thousands of pairs and get glasses, and they're all freaking really, really nice glasses.
Did you upload your picture?
I didn't do that.
Glasses?
No, I didn't do that. I totally
forgot
about that. Because I kind of know what I want already, so I knew which ones I was looking for. But they had them on there. It was amazing. And I've ordered
you
the
already
glasses.
you hate driving anyway, so going to a glasses store sucks
for
you, right?
Yeah, that's why I do everything online. So it was perfect. But if I could use that service of seeing what I would look like, that would be awesome. I totally forgot about that. But I'm just going to read to you about AC Lens because it's aclens.com. They're awesome. They take great pride in easy-to-use website, great prices, one-stop shop for all your optical needs, free shipping and fast delivery, great customer service, award-winning, in fact, actually. And they were super nice when I talked to them. Would be great if they could... they have a wide variety of eyeglasses and sunglasses from the well-known brands like Ray-Ban and Oakley to upcoming brands like Superdry, Zubug, and Proof, a 365-day guarantee, and all purchases are secure. You can order online or you can call 888-248-LENS. And you get 20% off all orders and free shipping on all glasses, sunglasses, and reading glasses, free returns on everything because you're listening to this podcast. So you have to go to aclens.com, click on the microphone, and enter promo code WOMEN20. That's promo code WOMEN20 to get 20% off.
I hope you guys can actually see the computer, though, so you're not wearing your stuff from AC Lens. You're going to be like, promo code what? I can't see what I'm typing because I haven't bought anything from AC Lens yet.
Exactly.
So, yeah, make sure you do that. So, yeah, go to AC Lens and use the promo code WOMEN20. Click the microphone and enter WOMEN20, and also you get 20% off all orders and free shipping on glasses, sunglasses, and reading glasses, so you can actually see the glasses that you'll be wearing.
And it's free returns
on everything. So do that, yo. Go to aclens.com.
Offer may not be combined with any other coupons, sales, or special offers at AC Lens.
Hey, Dr. Drew.
Yeah, Mike.
Great podcast, right?
As always.
As always.
There's a little fireside reading by Mike Catherwood.
A little Astropiece Theater.
There you go.
Talk about a lot of good stuff. Testicle mascots.
Which was shocking.
Russian bear badass man.
Which was ridiculous.
Plus, Davey and Hunter from AFI. Right here on the Mike and Dr. Drew podcast, only at Podcast One.
Remember when you had to listen to radio programs on their schedule? Well, with this podcast, life is better because you get to listen on your schedule. But what about backing up your computer files at home or at work? What's your schedule look like there? You don't need to schedule that either, as long as you have Carbonite. Carbonite backs up your files to the cloud for you automatically whenever you're connected to the internet. You can try it for yourself free right now at Carbonite.com. There's no credit card required. Plus, if you use offer code WOMEN, you get 2 bonus months with your purchase. That's Carbonite.com, offer code WOMEN. You're listening to the Ask Women podcast, a Podcast One presentation.
Boys have a penis, girls have a vagina.
Hey guys, welcome back to the show. We're here with the hilarious comedian Neil Brennan. Hey, thanks for coming.
Thanks for having me.
He's super
People
creepy
really,
also.
Vagina used to really pack a punch.
Not so much anymore?
No. You hear
it's an everyday thing.
I know.
When do you think that happened? When
McDonald's started
6-7 years.
You think it was that recent?
Yeah.
See, it's different as a girl because, we've always heard and talked the word vagina, except unless you're me and, have some shame because then we called it the middle.
You called it the middle?
Well, yeah.
You did or your mom did?
My mom did in turn, then I used the term. I've let it go in the past 6-7 years. It's probably when it started.
Did you say the middle or in my middle?
It's like the internet. It's like on the online, online.
No, was there what was how would you?
I would say Mom, my middle hurts.
Like you touched my middle.
Yeah.
Were you allowed to watch Malcolm in the Middle, or was that?
That's how she got the term, actually. She was a big fan. She's a big fan.
pretty creepy.
Yeah, he's super creepy. And we called P Tinkle, which was also
That's
weird.
fine. That I'm with.
Middle and Tinkle.
I feel
middle, but middle,
Middle
Tinkle
is so
like
weird.
a euphemism.
Yeah.
Whereas middle just...
And hopefully it's not actually in the middle, because
Are
then
you
you'd be
from-
like
where are you from?
way
Michigan or
disproportionate. Upstate New York.
Oh, right.
But it's like
All right.
Michigan-y there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And are Catholic people?
Super Catholic-y.
Yeah.
Yeah. Scared of Jews.
Yeah.
Do I
Don't
scare
blame
you?
that on
Do I
Catholics.
scare you? Exactly. Wait, was your, like, for boys, is it the middle as well?
No.
Oh, that's a penis.
It was so long it couldn't be in the middle.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
Interesting. Well, when before the show, we were talking to Nathaniel, who was our wonderful producer, and he is having some difficulties with his girlfriend right now because she is a vegan and he is not, and Neil is a vegan, and I think that Neil can help you with advice on what to do and
I
how
feel
to
like
handle
that's
it.
the sound you wouldn't make when you eat vegan food, though.
Yeah, but that's you're wrong.
There's good vegan food.
There's
amazing vegan
here's
food.
the thing with
I
vegan
have
food.
no problem with
when
it.
people are like, can you eat dessert? Yeah, I can eat sugar.
I had the
Sugar is
best
what-
carrot cake the other day.
Yes, no good.
Oh,
That's
amazing.
here's the thing. The thing that you taste when you eat food is not the meat. What you're tasting is spices and sauce. So it doesn't really matter. You would never just eat.
But you're getting
chicken.
fulfilled by the meat.
No, but
Satisfied?
you assume you are in a way that there's no variable. You just go, this is the control. This is how you get fulfillment. It's like, well, try another protein.
Right.
Was
Why did you become a vegan?
Because I just was never like that big a meat guy, and then I just realized like the Earth is going to be over in like 80 years.
Right.
80, exactly. Okay, that's
Probably.
cool.
I mean,
You're pushing it back
it's going to be
82
fucked
years
up in
now.
like 30
Okay.
significantly.
Well, I won't be able to remember anything by then, so that's perfect.
And then it'll be like over in probably 80.
Right.
Okay, good to know.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah.
Yeah, if my plan
all
works
goes
out.
well.
Yeah. If I have my way.
Well, so it's not like a political. I mean,
No,
it's kind of.
I don't. It's gross. I think the meat industry is gross. I think like raising and there's this documentary called Earthlings, which is basically just about the meat industry, and you watch it, and you just go like, "This is so gross."
Right.
Just all of these animals packed in.
See, I agree, but I'm so good at shutting out reality in my brain that like I can actually enjoy
there are
eating
certain
them.
realities I can shut out, but
Right.
that's just not one of them.
Right.
I think you can only shut out so many, and then you just go, all right, that one's in, and I can't.
Right.
And also, I don't find it that big a sacrifice. Like I said, like I'm not like. I realize the sauce spice quotient early,
Yeah.
and that's where I am. And I also now I invested in a vegan restaurant on
really?
Sepulveda and Washington Boulevard,
Oh,
guys,
wow.
in Los Angeles. It's called Sage Vegan Bistro. It's actually delicious.
Wait, it's open.
Like,
That's open now, right?
Yeah.
I've been there.
I have too.
Yeah, there you go, guys.
Well, we're supporting you.
Guys, was everything okay?
There you go.
It was
Yes.
great.
Can I get
Service
you
was
folks
a little
anything?
off, but
It's still early days. No, it's only been open a month. So
Okay.
But they have ice cream and beer, and it's vegan. So
I love
that's
that.
pretty sweet. And pretzels.
I love that.
But
See, take your girlfriend.
Can
But
you
what's-
date a non-vegan? Like,
Yeah. I haven't
that's
dated
the
any
problem.
vegans.
Well, explain what's going on in your relationship.
I've been with her for almost 2 years now, and we live together, and it's just became a massive thing. Like, I cannot have meat in the house, so I just, I want a fucking hamburger.
So
or
he can't
something.
even
I can't
stay,
eat it.
you know what I'm saying?
I can't eat it. And honestly, here's the big thing: I'm from a family. I'm from Kentucky, and I've hunted, and I am going to go hunting with my grandpa here in next
I
month.
like the way you said Paul.
Yeah, real Kentucky.
Grandpa.
Yeah.
Paul.
So yeah,
Bluegrass.
so this came out, and our thing was she was to not ever know about it. Well, it came out, and I was like, I don't want to lie or
Grandpa,
anything
you
about
mustn't
it.
ever did your grandpa emailed her or something?
Yeah. It's like, just so you know.
So she found out, and now the relationship's basically over. Like, we're all hell out, It's done pretty much, and I'm like,
Hey,
I don't know what to do here. I'm just being myself. I've respected your thing. I have nothing with the veganism. Hey,
Does she wear leather or anything?
No leather.
Yeah, see, I'm not a good. The other thing about me
She's
is I'm like
hardcore,
incurious. I'm like not a curious vegan where like I have leather on. I don't ask too many questions about broth. You know what I mean? Like I just if they tell me it's vegan, I'm not going to get what's in the reduction. I just
Was meat
But
cooked on
if you
that?
were
She
dating,
saw that.
if you were dating somebody and you would go out for dinner and they would have ribs and they would go, hunt some bear.
I
that's a mix
truly
of
don't
values.
care.
Really?
But I don't. But
You
I
single?
will say Yeah, I'm single, but it's because of emotional problems.
Yeah, not because of his veganism.
I will say that she doesn't want to be in a relationship with you.
And look, man,
that is what it sounds like.
Is this woman your wife?
No, I mean not legally.
No. I'm asking you,
honestly,
like,
we've talked
do you
about
look
this.
at her and be like,
been...
I love this woman, I want to marry this woman. I am willing to give up these
to be with
things
her for a long time. But no, I'm not willing to give that up because I don't. She's not giving anything up for me.
Well, then look. Then that's it. Then you said it right there.
Yeah.
Look, there's going to be another woman out there that's less difficult when it comes to those things and understands
She'll
who
let you eat meat on
are.
the porch, for instance.
Yeah.
You made me not hate vegans.
And let me ask you.
There's nothing hate. It's like I don't care what people. I'm just trying to not be. There's only so much hypocrisy I can live with,
right?
And that's one of those. I'm a hypocrite in 1,000 other ways, but that's just not one of them.
Right.
Thank you.
Good.
Yeah,
in terms of relationships,
what I was going to say is, if your girl eats meat, then she's not a vegan anyway. I mean, if she gives you, if your girl that
really
came
stupid.
out. No, I'm saying I shouldn't have said
That's
that.
incredibly stupid.
Yeah,
I wish if I had a time machine.
I wish we
go back.
Erase that.
The line was.
I'd go back the 3 months.
No, we don't need to know what because there's no good version of that line.
Yeah, there's no good way to sell it.
There's no reason to
We get what
let
you were
me
trying
tell
to do.
you the hacky joke I was going to do.
I'm going to crawl into a box.
It would have worked. Well, the point here is to really understand a person's core values. Like I've talked about this before. At a point when I was going to my own coach, I discovered what my core values were, the things that were really, really important to me that weren't negotiable. And this could be a core value for her that she's realizing as you guys are getting more and more serious that this is something she is not willing to budge on. And not that she can't respect your lifestyle, but it can't be a lifestyle that meshes with hers that she can possibly pass on to her children. And so that's a huge thing. And so then you have to decide what you guys do about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's where I am.
They're going to break up.
Yeah.
Well, I think Neil said he's single because of emotional issues, but I feel like your girlfriend has emotional issues, even though she's taking it out in this I'm a strict vegan thing. It gives her meaning or something.
You might be.
But or it might be her excuse.
I find that I don't think it's a girl thing. I think people will come up. People that don't want to be in relationships will just come up with it's because I remember a girl was cutting my hair one time, and she told me that her boyfriend, a beautiful girl, and her boyfriend had broken up with her because she didn't do her own taxes. And he said, I want a girl who does her own taxes. And I was like, he just doesn't want to go out with you anymore. He's just looking for any excuse.
Literally any excuse.
Yeah, truly, that's pretty low.
Right.
So the meat thing is, if she really was in love with you, she wouldn't care.
That's what I think.
Yeah.
But no other signs point to a breakup besides that. She is.
But it's what she's fixing.
The joke I'm waiting.
That's helping her become more comfortable with it.
The joke I'm waiting for Mo to tell is why doesn't she go marry the deer then? Why doesn't she go marry the cow?
That was my next one.
Right.
That was your next
one.
one.
But look, she's obviously an animal lover.
Huge.
Yeah, so that's a problem then.
But I agree with Neil.
It's just people taking themselves too seriously, I think, is the problem. And I think
for
she's
sure.
taking
No,
herself
but the point that I agree with is that when people realize it's not working, they fixate on something that can be a very small thing, but can mean a lot more. So not doing your taxes may actually mean you're not a woman who's independent, who can take care of herself.
I don't think it has. I think he just doesn't want to go out with her. I think there are things that are symptoms of other things. I think that people are generally bad at picking them. I think women look too deeply into stuff that's not an actual symptom, but that's just she's fishing. She's making stuff up. I've had girls do it to me. I've done it to. It's happened and I've done it.
Yeah.
So I don't and to extrapolate into this thing because a lot of times causation isn't there and they'll pretend it is.
Mm-hmm. For sure. Well, tell us about you and being single. Get off our show.
No. What do you want to know?
Well,
what's your dating history? What's your past?
I've had a couple long-term relationships, 2.5 years, 3.5 years, but it just doesn't. I've only been in love once. That was recently, and you guys will enjoy this. She broke up with me in couples therapy.
Wow. No.
Yeah, toward the beginning of the session.
The therapist was like, I don't even know how to deal with this.
Still had to pay, yeah.
Was it the first session
no,
or
it was
had you
the
been going?
fourth session, but we had, she had problems going into it. So that's what I bring it up of, like, just making stuff up. Like, what are you talking about? Like, she was making shit up.
Right.
Or saying that something meant something else. It's like, that doesn't mean.
She's like, I can't stand your successful comedy career.
No, that was a whole nother thing. Like, that wasn't the problem. The comedy career thing, the thing that I'll say that, like, looking back was a bit curious, where I did a Comedy Central hour special, and she went to the taping, and it was great. And when I got off stage, she was like, man, those people loved you. It's like, that's not a compliment.
No.
Right.
That's like an observation about how some other people felt about me. It was like,
she's like, I'm not seeing it.
It
but
wasn't
other
like,
people
it was
like
like, all
it's
right.
possible.
Yeah, like I see it. So that was one of those things where, like, you kind of go, it was maybe the best.
Yeah, and at the
but
time you probably
her, and
ignored
I thought she
a
loved
little
me.
bit. Like, you kind of sweep it under the rug, like, oh, that wasn't a good sign, but I'm going to keep going.
I didn't. Again, it was like it was in a maelstrom of bad signs. It wasn't even that bad. It was just there were things about it that didn't work.
Right.
So she had to bring it up with me.
I'm sorry.
How have you done since?
I've been crushing ass.
Yeah.
That's the only way to get over it.
What's that now?
It's the only way to get over it.
Yeah, thank you. No, that's actually not the only way to get over it. Either that or deal with it in therapy. There's only one way, or just wait. No, I haven't. I've actually not. I haven't gone the other way completely, but, like, I have a thing now where I found myself, I don't know if this has ever happened to people, but I found myself sleeping with girls because I couldn't think of any other way to end the date.
Yeah.
I've heard a lot
it's
of people
less
say
awkward
that.
to do that.
It's like
I'll
let me just fuck you instead of saying, because I didn't come up with a good fake excuse to call back.
Right.
I didn't make up a fake dog in the beginning of the date.
Right.
I didn't plant a fake dog.
Well, that's
so
like
now I just have to. Yeah, and I feel like girls probably do it.
Well, it's the equivalent for me. Like, for example, like I hated a wall color that I painted in my apartment. So instead of, like, going to get a paint that I actually liked,
you burnt the building down.
Exactly. Like, I had other paint that I also hated, and I used that to paint over it because it was easier at the time to just get rid of that one. I don't know. That was a bad example.
So exactly the same situation as you.
Yeah. Did you fuck the wall?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, all night long.
So
I fuck things I hate. So
you couldn't just drop them off at home and say, "Hey, thank you."
It was one of those things of, like, I couldn't figure out a way to. I didn't have, like, a headache.
And they were so hot and heavy for you.
It's easier to do what's hard than it is to do what's easier in the moment.
It's just short money. It's like I'm putting off being awkward. I can text you.
Yeah. I'd rather be awkward in the morning
I'd
than deal
rather
with
be
it
awkward
now.
in the future than awkward now.
Exactly.
So then how do you deal with that awkwardness afterwards? Are you, like, a jerk
just
after
change
you
my
sleep
number.
with them?
Change my number for
So it gets
block
awkward
emails.
with the phone company.
You know,
How
the
do
new
you deal with that
iPhone, you can
afterwards?
block numbers, guys. It's pretty great.
Are you a jerk to girls after?
No, I'm not.
Good.
But having said that, there's no easy way to I feel like even if
You're
you
a
go
jerk.
out
Yeah,
with a
do that.
girl once and don't like her, it's kind of awkward.
Yeah.
Just once.
Right.
It's a lose-lose for men. Anytime you have sex with a woman and you don't want to continue pursuing them or keep having sex with them, they don't get that. They take that as a personal X on them, and that
Well,
you're
no,
an
I
ass.
don't. It is a personal X on them, but the thing of it is, it's got nothing to do with the sex. That's the thing that women conflate. Is like, I knew before we had sex, I didn't want to see you again.
Right.
But I couldn't figure out a way to not have sex with you. I tried to get away.
Right.
I tried to get away.
rolled out of the car.
Did you enjoy the sex, though?
I'm thinking it wasn't.
You're having
I feel like if I really
tons of
enjoyed
pity
it,
sex.
if I say again,
You're having tons of pity sex then.
is that what your mother used to come? I'm kidding.
In the middle.
In the middle.
Did I? Yeah, it's not a ton. Like, it's every once in a while. It's just sort of like not pity. It's just I'm not really giving it my every. I'm not fully present.
If you're not fully present, are you talking during sex to them? Like, what's the sign to know that you're just having sex with them because you want to get over with?
Here's the other thing that drives me crazy is if someone can't read social cues, it makes me insane. Like, if you can, as a human being, you can tell if someone doesn't want to be near you. You can feel it.
Right.
And when I'm really kind of obvious about it, or at least I think I'm obvious about it. And when they are like aren't picking up social cues, it's like, motherfucker, are you tone deaf?
Right.
Right
And a
now
lot
I
of
have
them
to
are.
have sex with you.
Yeah, now I'm.
Yeah, you're not getting my cues. But
Yeah.
it's interesting because women do that too. Women give a lot of subtle cues, expecting men to pick up on them. So what if, like, next time you were out with a woman, if you were to not give a subtle cue, but actually give like a very overt cue? It could be something
slap
like
her in the face.
Yeah, like punch her in the
What
stomach.
do you mean?
Punch
I
her in
don't.
the middle.
What would an overt cue be?
So, for example, if at the point in a date that you decide you're not into this girl, you make a statement, you know what, I have to be somewhere really early tomorrow morning, or something that at least
there's
leads
that. Yeah,
into it.
but that's the.
That gives you
Oftentimes,
the
I
easy out.
haven't set that up early enough.
So let's say you prepared it so that next time before. So you're like, let's say it's not going well. Here's the line that I'm going to say. So
The other
you
thing
weren't
that
caught in
somebody
moment.
somebody said, just go out with them during the day.
Would that stop you
It's-
from having sex with them?
Yeah, but then
no,
you-
it doesn't sound like it.
It's more of a, it'll, you know.
But as a girl, you kind of
I
know
can't
from the
get it up
beginning.
till-
You don't
till
like
the
it.
sun goes down.
Women are weird. One time I dropped a girl off. I'd hooked up with her before, but I dropped her off to break up with her in the car. And I was breaking up with her, and she would not let me break up with her because she felt like she gave a horrible sexual performance the night before. So
she's like, let me do it again.
No, the only way I could get her out of my car is if she gave me a blowjob. And I literally...
But I gotta say, that's the kind of nonsense that you deal with as a
Yeah,
guy.
that's
like,
the kind
it's
of
one
nonsense
those weird,
we
like,
deal
wait,
with.
and it's not even misogynistic. It's like, wait, what are you doing? Like, how is this logic working for you? Like,
Well, then
you
if it
have
works
to-
well for her, then that's her emotions. Like,
Yeah.
let her do it.
I think that's her ego.
Have
but-
you dealt with
Yeah,
any
for sure.
crazies afterward where they're like not letting you go and they didn't get those?
I've had a
social
girl
cues?
stalk me, like straight up stalk me.
Really?
Like not like I'm stalking you, like straight up.
Like,
2 dudes had restraining orders against her. I didn't
Really?
know that. Yeah.
Like sitting outside your window stalking you?
Followed me. I think I dawned on me the other day that I think she put something on my car that she could track me.
No way.
You know what? I've thought of those things only now because of Breaking Bad, because of Walt. It's occurred to me in the
I
past
stopped
couple
watching it, but yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, no, I actually believe because there was stuff that there was places I was that she couldn't have known.
Right.
And then would
Like-
she approach you when she was there? Would she just
Yeah,
be there?
she would pretend that we'd bumped into each other.
Right.
Was it like the movie Prisoners where she was breaking in your house and like stealing your underwear and just smelling it?
I didn't see it. I didn't see
So
it.
yes, most likely it was.
But I don't know.
That's crazy. So now you have a restraining order against her?
I don't have a restraining order against her.
What did you do to get her to stop?
What did I do? I went down on her one last time.
There you go.
You did a
That's all
horrible-
she wanted.
You did a horrible
all
job.
she wanted. And then she's like, ew, I don't want to be with you.
All right.
What happened? I don't even remember. I just
You're
sort
like,
of
"I'm vegan."
was very clear about it. Like, you can't. I'm not.
Oh, and that was good enough?
Yeah, basically, yeah.
Okay.
And that was a girl that you did sleep with.
Yeah, multiple times.
Okay. Right.
Interesting.
Yeah.
All
And it was
right.
great. Of course, it was great.
Yeah.
She was a lunatic.
Well, of course, I'm sure she was wild in the bedroom. It'd be amazing.
Yeah,
I
fantastic.
think our male listeners could take something here from you because you're kind of like, you could take it or leave it. And I bet the women that you're with find that extremely attractive because you must be really hard to get for them. And for them, when people find what they can't get.
I also find that, like, if a girl likes you, she just likes you.
Yeah.
Like, that's the.
But
So
you're
there's-
also hard to read.
Yeah.
So it's,
Sure
no,
am, sugar.
but it is. It's a curiosity thing. Like, I don't know if you hate me or love me right now. That's the honest to God truth. No clue. I have no idea. So, like, I would think that would be appealing to women because they're like constantly trying to.
Yeah, they're trying to
engage
read.
you.
Yeah.
Yeah, and understand what's going on. Like,
One
do you
girl,
like me?
I
Do you
made
not
out with
like
this
me?
girl one time. This made me laugh on the spot. She said, and it was a girl that I wasn't attracted to, and I was making out with her. She goes, why don't you kiss me like you like me? And I was like, God damn! It made me laugh. I'm just
Yeah, she
so
called you
dead
out.
on.
Yeah,
it was
that's
just
great.
like, God damn! I can't believe she picked it up.
Yeah.
But that's
Now I
that's
love
but
it.
That's a
what I
girl to
want.
date. But that's a girl to date.
I know. I still wasn't attracted to her though.
Yeah.
That's too bad.
That's the thing is you can't. Nothing will make you. It's
Right,
like
it's not like
picking
that-
a car color. Like I
Yeah.
like a red car. I don't like it. You can't get mad if I like a red car.
Did you ever want to be married, like the married type?
I wouldn't mind being married. I don't think. I'm not. It hasn't occurred to me to want to have kids. But I wouldn't mind being married. It wouldn't like I would have married my ex. I think if she wanted to get married.
Right.
But if I find somebody that's super cool, that's the thing is like the other conclusion I've come to is that like my friends that I'm friends with are brilliant people. Like I have brilliant friends. So if I'm dating somebody, they gotta be smart.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, but the good news, well, that's actually not true. Like, I was going to say the good news is if a girl likes me, she's probably smartish, because otherwise, what are you for my body?
Right.
You know what I mean? I mean, look, let's not kid ourselves. It's pretty great, but
that's why I asked you here.
It's not the number one feature. But my friends are really, really, really like some of the smartest people in the world. So I can't really. I'm easily bored.
Right.
By just like the average person.
Well, where do you meet women that you would want to date and be with?
Well, that's the thing is I'll meet them anywhere. I mean, there's no like. I don't go to church. And I don't. Yeah, I meet them at like comedy shows and on the internet, I guess.
Really? You use the internet?
Yeah.
Online dating?
I was doing Tinder for a second. I stopped that.
I love Tinder.
That's a big one.
You stopped it? Why?
Because I wasn't meeting.
I
met one person. Yeah, I met one person I actually liked meeting.
Interesting.
And everybody else is kind of like, yeah. It was kind of just. I was also like doing it too much.
Right.
It was it was on my phone, so I would just. I put a blocker on my internet, so I can't get on the internet between noon and 6:30.
That's really smart.
I know it is.
That's very, very smart.
How do you do that?
There's a program.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's like an app or something?
Yeah.
That's
it's an app
really
called
smart.
there's a program called K9. And you can't you set the time, and then my ex has the password.
Do you think that a lot of girls dumb themselves down around you?
No, because why would you do that? I actually think the opposite, maybe. I don't know. I don't think a girl would dumb herself down.
Okay.
I don't think there's any advantage to it. Like, right. I don't.
But do you find it challenging to meet a girl that you are attracted to that also has an amazing brain that can keep up with your friends, or at least challenge you?
I don't. Well, that's the other thing is, like, what is required of, as a guy, I think what women think we want and what we actually want are two different things. Like, more than anything, I just want, like, feminine energy, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
I don't need, like, and when people are like, why don't you date someone funny? I got it. I got bits. I'll figure it out.
Yeah.
Do you find that, like, most women, I know you're saying you're dating smarter women, but most women that you've been with, do you think they get humor? Do they get
That's the other thing. Like, yeah, you're not going to date me if you don't like comedy. Like, if you don't think that there's, like, comedy is a relevant thing.
Right.
You're just not going to bother.
Yeah.
But I don't like girls that are, like, going for bits.
Right.
They're competing with
so we have no chance.
It's not competing. It's like, I just got it. You know what I mean? It's like, you know, when girls go like, see, girls will see it as sexist if I say I don't want to date a girl that is going for bits. But you don't want to date a guy who's prettier than you or takes longer to get ready. Like, it's just, there's just gender things that you just like, nah.
Like, I don't need it.
Yeah, like, I don't need bits. I'm friends with a lot. No, but I'm friends with a lot of really funny female comedians, and I just
doesn't do it for you.
Yeah, I'm just not attracted to the thing in me that comes up with jokes. It's not a nice thing. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's not a kind, hearted thing. It's kind of dark and ugly. So I'm like, I don't want to be with a girl and she's coming up bits about my nose or something.
And I also feel with men, it's when we work in an industry or we're part of something or we're working at something, we want our home life and that person at home to be someone completely different. That's like an escape.
Some people do, some people don't.
I enjoy the escape. My girl's just, I'm in the entertainment industry. My girl's a normal human being with a normal job. I enjoy that because it grounds me.
Well, for me, like, my boyfriend he went to school for film, so I thought he would, like, get the industry, and then he wanted to get out of it. And so once I found out he wasn't interested in it anymore, I kind of lost interest in him for a little bit because I thought, well, we're not going to really connect. He's not really going to get my lifestyle, and that's been a thing that comes up for us that's, like, a point of contention because he thinks what I'm doing is retarded and it's stupid and he criticizes it. But then I think what he does is really stupid and boring and it offers nothing exciting. So that's, like, definitely for me been an issue.
How often do you argue about it?
Oh, once a day. No, I don't know. I don't know, once every couple months. Like, I brought up, like, he's a project manager for a construction company. And I brought that up that, like, it's not exciting to know that, like, the guys
the wood is coming.
Right. Like, that's.
Hey, what time's the wood going to get here?
The wood getting there with, like, a yellow neon vest on, and And
did you talk to the cement guy today?
Exactly. So I think like some people really like that. Like I need someone who has we have similar ways of thinking, but we don't. You need that similar brain. For
I
me
also
personally,
think that, shared interest is really important.
Right.
That was a thing that I didn't realize until the girl that broke up with me. It's like we had similar tastes. Like because I've had girlfriends that like I was just like, no, she's a nice person. Da-da-da. We had no interest in common. And then as a guy, because you don't want her to stop having sex with you, I find I would do whatever she wanted. I would never stand up for what I wanted. It was always like, or if we even wanted to like go hang out with my friends, she would mysteriously get tired. It was just like, it's harder to know. Girls are prettier, so it's harder to realize that you're assholes.
Right.
Because you have like stationery and you smell good and stuff. Right. And it's like, no, you're just a regular old dickhead.
Yeah, we're horrible.
Yeah. You're not even horrible. You're just a regular old dickhead. You're just like a dickhead the way you can be selfish, you can be you can be like cold and not there's all the things that guys can be, you can also be. It just takes a while
to see past the pink.
To see past like, oh wait, no, this is not fair.
Right. Did you ever live? Exactly. Did you guys live together at all?
No, we were going to, and then I moved.
Oh, luckily for you.
Yeah.
We talked about earlier the cleaning issue with couples living together and cleaning and men needing to be like rewarded with like sex or a blowjob or something. Do you think that's something to motivate men to get them to clean? Like how do you get a man to kind of get that like
you will not get me to clean. That's the thing.
Okay, yeah.
You just won't.
Yeah.
Like
even with sex?
Yeah, I don't care. I mean, like, I'm not, first of all, if you're going to treat me like an animal, I'll just break up. If you're going to be like, I'm holding this.
Right.
The idea, like, when women use, like.
We like him now, Mo.
Yeah, but he'll
give
just
me a
pay
coupon
for someone
for a
to clean.
Yeah, I got money. I'll just get a cleaning lady.
See,
like,
that's the other option.
Right. What about when you didn't have money?
I've always
been
had money. There's never been a time, sweetheart. I don't know. I guess I wasn't as dirty, or I don't know. But I wouldn't. I don't like where girls hold sex as like a. I don't like that thing of like you have to go out on 3 dates and then it's like I'm earning credits, sex credits or something. It's so
like
insulting. Like when a girl says I'm not going to sleep with you on the first date, I pretty much like write them off.
Right.
Like,
really?
Yeah, because it's like, okay, so you're not attuned to, if it's an emotional thing, that I get, but very rarely is it an emotional thing. It's just like, no, I'm not going to sleep with you because you haven't done the things that are going to make it worth me giving you. It's just like,
I don't think I ever announced that to somebody. I just said in my mind, like, I'm not going to sleep with people on the first date unless I really want to.
Yeah, and if you don't really want to, then fine.
Then I'm not going to.
But the idea that somehow
like it's a reward system is
weird. Like that I have to I have to go through a bunch of hoops, and then it's like I get this.
Yeah, it's like
I get this game.
Screw you,
what we're doing.
You're not. Worth
it's like
interesting.
It's either like so you're not if your body's it's inhumane.
Yeah, people who map out moments, but instead of actually living in a moment and enjoying it.
And also, like, why wouldn't you sleep with someone you want to sleep with? How often do you want to sleep with people? Especially girls. Girls never want to sleep with people.
A lot of that comes from insecurities and, like, from fears of being used by other guys treating them poorly.
Right.
A lot of those things come and stem from that. Right, doesn't mean that she's a shitty girl.
I guess I would just say, like, roll the dice. Are you not? Women act like they don't get anything out of sex. It's like, it's still fun.
Yes.
It was fun. And even if I never see you again, it was fun. Did you not have any enjoyment, or it's only predicated, your enjoyment's totally predicated on like, well, let's see what happens in the next 72 hours.
Right.
And I'll see if
that
orgasm becomes official. It's like, no, you...
Yeah. It's like they're your boss.
Have the emotional attachment that comes with sex that men don't have. So if for them, there's that emotional attachment. Then I say not all. I'd say 90%.
That is not true. If you're saying it's not true, then that flies in the face of not sleeping with the guy on the first date.
What do you mean?
Because you're worried about getting used or whatever. It's like,
wait, what?
Also, if I'm gonna, Patrice O'Neill, the great comedian, one time said he was talking. A girl was saying she didn't want to sleep with him on the first date, and he goes, this is his parlance. He goes, bitch, you got to be bigger than your pussy. Meaning, is that all you have?
Right.
So that's all you have. Once I sleep with you, that's your whole thing. That's
Right.
your only.
Show's
that's
over.
my only
That's it.
incentive. Yeah, to be near you is that you have a vagina. That's like that is sad to me. And also, so
it's also giving women too much credit. It's like, who's saying I want to sleep with you? It's presumptuous. It's almost like if a guy tries to, say, hey, what are you doing this weekend? And I'm like, I have a boyfriend. They're like, well, I wasn't even asking
also,
if you had one.
yeah, they were.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, they were.
But that's the problem. Men respond. So, like, if that happens and someone says, what are you doing this weekend? I'm like, oh, well, I have a boyfriend. They're like, well, then the men turn it around and make you look stupid for presuming that they want your number. And that has actually made me always lie and never say I have a boyfriend because I don't want them to think
that's
I'm
interesting.
giving myself too much
I tell girls to
credit.
always say you have a boyfriend.
Yeah, I never say it because I'm going to get slapped in the face.
I think girls in showbiz don't sleep with anybody. Say you have a boyfriend.
Yeah.
Because there's no benefit to sleep with people that you work with.
I doing some stand up and trying to get booked on shows. I mean, I know that if I get booked on a show and then the comic sometimes has happened where I'm like, hey, thanks for the spot. And they're like, what are you doing this weekend? And I'm like, oh, that's why I got booked on the fucking show. Yeah. It's really annoying. But then I don't want to say, oh, well, I have a boyfriend, because then all of a sudden the comic's going to be like, well, I wasn't even asking you. So it's just weird.
Or they may not even book you.
Right.
I've had that before. Like, I used to work in commercial finance like a very long time ago. But, there were people that I had to network with people, and I would go out with them, and then I wouldn't know what they were actually going out with me for. Like, I was invited to the AMAs with one on a Saturday night, and like there was no business talk. And anytime that I would try and bring it up, there was no business talk, and it was very uncomfortable. And it just, I was really young at the time, so it just made me pull back because I didn't know how to handle myself in those situations.
It's hard to know. As a guy, like if a girl, I've had girls like if I was directing something and I went on a date with a girl one time. I thought it was a date. Turns out it wasn't. She just wanted to be in the movie. It was like, all right, well, I don't know, and how do I know?
Right.
Do you want to hang out? Because I don't really hang out that much with girls that I don't know, that I don't want to sleep with. You know what I mean? Like that. So, but it's hard to know, and I felt bad afterward.
Yeah. So you don't have like a lot of like, well, you probably do because of comedy, girlfriends, like friends that are girls.
I actually have a ton of girlfriends.
Right. Okay.
But none that it's like.
Any chance of anything?
No, exactly. It's like out of the.
As you were saying before, like you're not attracted to that thing that's in the
that like aggressive, dark black hole.
Judgmental.
I want to get to analyze this because I have some good questions. They're long questions, just a little bit of a heads up. But people send us in questions, and then we analyze this for them. Okay, so I know it's a really complicated title.
In case you're
do it as Robert De Niro. Go ahead.
Yes. Okay, so this one is from G. It's a little bit long. Hi, girls. And Neil, I've just listened to episode 5. I know I'm behind the times, but don't judge me, and heard your piece about girls dumbing it down, as well as intelligent and powerful women being more intimidating than regular women. The part about the Valley girls remind me of the fact that the prefix like has come into everyday speech in the UK, and hearing it infuriates me. I find it quite a turnoff when I'm talking to a woman who has to use the word like to break up her sentence every 4th word, and I associate it with a ditzy young girly type. Personally, I find the more intelligent a woman is, the easier she is to talk to. There seems to be something about a woman with intelligence that gives her a greater level of confidence to express exactly who she is, and she knows what she wants. Although women find that attractive in a man, it does work the other way too. There's nothing, really I know, it's really long. There's nothing more infuriating than a person who has a deep insecurity about who they are or is afraid to express themselves for fear of rejection. I do have a question, though. I'm not a particularly...
that's good. Thanks.
Yes.
Not in this email, but eventually I will have a question.
I do have a question,
Watch your mailbox.
I'm not coming up soon. I'm not a particularly outgoing person. In fact, I'm quite introverted and have been all my life, and I tend to participate in more singular activities. However, I have been told I do give off quite a masculine vibe, and I'm very confident in myself and my own abilities. I feel when I'm out with a group of friends, I don't need to add to a conversation to prove my worth, and I'm very happy listening and observing other people. I still chat to other people on a night out, men and women alike, but my friends always seem to attract women more easily than I do. My question is, when did the strong silent type lose its appeal, and do I have to become more extroverted, cheeky chappy kind of guy in order to attract female attention? G.
Well, I think it's like we've had this question before where it's like, well, it's so long-winded that's why you're scaring away women. Because you're not talking, but then when you do talk, it's just you're letting everything out.
Right.
So I think that's one of the issues.
What do you think?
I honestly don't want to reward the length of that question with an answer.
I love that.
I just want to not say anything. I don't even know what the question was.
The question is, he said that he's an introvert.
That was a dude?
Yeah.
And he's British.
So he's British, and he's the silent type. And he says
Right.
he doesn't want to prove his worth. So usually he listens when in group conversations. But he said his friends tend to get more attraction from females who are more extroverted.
Yeah, you can't not talk.
Contribute.
I mean,
you can't. No, it's like, so what are they gonna? It's like when guys go. It's like in showbiz, some people will be like, "Man, I can't believe I have to go to like a general meeting with people, and then they know whether I'm funny or not. They should just watch my act." It's like, dude, it's like just saying a girl should sleep with you from looking at you. It's like you have to. Who are you? Right. You have to be able to tell people who you are.
And I think the strong, silent type thing is more of a myth. Like, I don't ever think that was that appealing. Yeah, the strong type might be appealing.
When you're married, it's interesting in a dad.
Right.
And it's also interesting in the 50s.
Right,
Because most of the things that we're going to say were racist and sexist anyway. So
right.
Maybe you just be quiet, you jerk.
So what's the advice to G?
Talk.
To start
Talk it
talking.
up.
Have a personality. And a lot of people are
Yeah.
just attracted to personality. So if you're not showing one, then there's not much to be attracted to.
Right.
Most people are attracted to
Yes.
guys are generally not that good looking. So
we've been
girls
taught
are
we have to
mostly-
like personality.
Girls are mostly, it's not taught, you've learned.
We are.
It's
Women
learned.
are
The world
attracted
has
to
shown-
personalities.
Yeah, completely. Because guys are by and large not good looking, and the good looking ones are gay.
Right.
There you go.
That's how I feel. I feel like most good looking guys are gay.
Yeah.
All right, next question. How can I tell if the girl behind the FedEx counter actually likes me and isn't just being polite because I am a customer?
Don't like someone who works at FedEx. That's my first one.
That's
It's
your
like
first
a very monotonous, boring life ahead.
Yeah. But so how does he tell? How can he tell whether or not she is into him or she's just being polite? And this this spreads across to bartenders, to waitresses, to other people who are in the service industry. Like, how do you differentiate between somebody who's being nice to you to get a sale or money or just being polite and somebody who's into you?
Here's the thing: is I just assume they're not, because I
they're
to
not.
a fault. I will, because I don't want to hit on a girl who doesn't want to be hit on. Like, I have a fear of doing that.
And how do you know she doesn't want to be hit on?
Because what girl wants to be hit on? I mean, you want to be hit on by, like, certain guys, good-looking guys, but again, none of us are good-looking.
Listen, I like getting whistles from homeless men on the street, so I like to be hit on.
Oh, there you go.
So I'm
the opposite. I do not like to be hit on.
Yeah.
And I'll be in a fine mood, and I just started going back to the gym, and this guy kind of gave me like a look, and I just looked at him like, don't fucking talk to me. Even though I'm in a great mood, I don't want to deal with any. No, I wasn't. I just saw him look at me, and I just gave him I don't want to deal with this awkwardness that's about to ensue, so leave me alone.
But what if there was a guy?
I also think that you can tell if a girl has an inordinate amount of time and attention for you. That means she generally likes you.
Right.
So then what would you advise to him?
Does she, I'd say case the place. See how long she talks to people. Hang out after you've done whatever you need to do, the FedEx, after you've shipped your fake package, and then just see if she's like, okay. If she's kind of like, why are you still here? Then that she doesn't like you.
Right,
if she's like, so what? If she's curious or remembers shit about you, then she likes you.
Yeah.
See, that sounds like a lot of work to me. I think that's a great idea to like observe an
Hitting
individual.
on girls is a lot of work.
It doesn't have to be a lot of work. I would actually advise the opposite. I always tell guys, like, you can look for a million signs that can say to you, yes, she wants me. But like you're always going to question those signs, thinking, oh wait, did she look at me like this? Did she not look at me like this? And it drives you insane. The only sign that you should pay attention to is the one that's in your head that says, I want this girl, or I want to ask her on a date. I want to flirt with her. I want to see her naked in my bedroom later on. That's the sign you pay attention to, and the only way to get
I've got bad news for you. We want everyone naked in our bedroom. So
okay, so there you go. So that's the sign
so then
you
it
pay
would just
attention
be like,
to.
Yeah, I know, but
But you're
talking to
picturing
everybody.
like yourself going up to a girl and like drooling all over her. But if you go up to her and it's a little suave about it, and you flirt with
trust
her,
me, I'm suave. It doesn't. It's just boring after a while.
What do you mean?
It's time consuming to hit on every girl.
Well, he's not talking about every girl. He's talking about the FedEx girl.
Right. Well, what I'm saying is I'm saying take 10 minutes.
Take 10 minutes to observe.
Just hang out with her. Hang out, and if she gives you a social cue of like, hey, why are you at my work for no reason? then she doesn't want you there and she doesn't like you.
For me, when I see a guy lingering around, if I was interested at the beginning, my attraction would decrease for him. If I saw him like looking at pens for 5 minutes and then like inspecting the packages that you use for, shipping things, that creeps me out because then he's there for another reason and then I can feel the discomfort and that creates discomfort in me and I project that onto him.
So all right, let's say you work at FedEx.
Yes.
How would a guy pick you up?
He would be open and flirt with me. He would have conversation with me. And then he would ask me for what he wanted. And then I could say yes or no.
I'm so glad Mo's not here for a package joke.
I know. Seriously. That would have been horrible.
Rest in peace, Mo.
But I'm also a direct person. I like it to be open and out there. I would prefer that than the lurker. I wouldn't. If you can do it in a really suave way. For example, as you're waiting in line at FedEx and you observe how she interacts with other people and then she interacts differently with you, that's a great way. But I thought you were saying to like stick around afterwards.
Well, no, I'd stick around afterward. And then if
chit-chatting with her, not examining pens
not like,
and stuff.
Getting behind ferns,
that's what
sticking your head out like,
I'm picturing you lurking and like watching her as she interacts with other people.
No.
Then I misunderstood completely. But anyway, we're both basically saying the same thing. It's observe her behavior, but also like know what you want and then go in for the kill. So that is our answer. All right, one more question. When women get this upset... Oh, whoopsies. Oh, God, this is another long one. Hey, ladies and gent. I just finished listening to half of episode 4, and the funny thing is...
How many of these have you done?
25, 26. We are slow going through our emails. We got a lot of emails. And the funny thing is, I think I'm in the same situation regarding the hot-cold situation. Here's how it went. I went to work and saw the usual girl across from my vendor. She was chatting with her boss, some customers, even the guy she has interest in with a smile on her face. When I finished work, I decided to go order something from her vendor and have a small chat like I usually do. Then boom, she gave off this vibe of piss off when I made eye contact with her and really caught me off by surprise. Worst part of the last thing I remembered from her lips is, I'm sorry you just caught me on a bad day. Now, I don't know if she really is in a bad mood and just hiding it with a smile the whole time, but I definitely know that this feeling of get lost right now is real to me. My question is, when women get this upset, does it really mean it's that time of the day? Periods. That they're periods. Or does she really hate to see me right now because she's more interested in the other guy?
This guy doesn't understand the menstrual cycle?
No.
He thinks women get their period every 28 days or something, or every 28 minutes.
Right.
It's exactly. So anytime a woman's upset with him, she's on her period. That's basically what it sounds like.
So here's the thing. If you like a girl, just say, hey, I think you're cute. Am I wasting my time?
Oh, I like
That's
that.
a great way.
That's a great way.
We've talked about like leaving some mystery and, like if you just walk up to a girl, we've kind of said like, if you say like, hey, I want to fuck you, and then walk away and look like you don't give a fuck, she would be so... Most of the time, I think women would be really intrigued. It might not happen.
You're going to get her attention.
I also think there's like euphemism. I think like saying we should maybe make out.
Yeah, I mean,
good.
Right.
Or
I
think
when guys say that to me.
Cute or make out. I think those are good instead of because fuck's a little like.
Well, right, but
it's
like
that's an extreme example.
It's like it's like the mystery of like he just said something to me and then he walked away and now he seemed like he wanted me, but now he doesn't want me. Now I want him.
Yeah, curiosity.
But I don't know about this thing about the time of the month. She probably, like, for example, for me, I was talking about being at the gym. I just didn't want to speak. I didn't want to have to go through this sort of conversation. So I turned on that side of me so that it would give him the signal to go away.
Right.
So it could be a mood. It could be the situation. She wants privacy. But I'm sure it's not a time of the month.
It's not her period. And if you constantly think that that's what the issue is when a woman gets upset, you are doomed when you get into a relationship.
No, he should bring it up as much as possible.
And get slapped as much as possible.
Are you on your period or should I go away?
Yeah, exactly. Or are you really upset with me right
What's
now?
What's going on? Someone just got a period.
Gotta punch any guy. All right, well, that is all the questions that I have.
I have tampons.
For
Do you need
tampons? But Neil, tell people about like what you're doing right now, how to get in touch with you.
I don't. I have a podcast called The Champs, which is funny. And
where do they find that?
On iTunes.
Okay.
The podcast places. And I'm doing shows, movies, doing some more.
Yeah, it's on your website. You're on tons of shit.
Working, bro.
Yeah, it's awesome. Congratulations.
Bro.
Can they follow you on Twitter?
Oh, yeah. Neil Brennan. NealBrennan.
Awesome. Yeah. All right. Well, thanks for being on the show. Thanks for being so open with us and honest.
Oh, yeah. What do I care? Single. Again, if I had a girlfriend, I'd be like, I know a girl. I'm saying it's like, I got nothing to lose.
No, it was awesome. Very appreciated.
Thank you.
So it was awesome. But yeah, that's it for today. You can check us out on Twitter at Ask Women Podcast. You can go to our website, askwomenpodcast.com, and you can download new episodes of our podcast every week on Thursday. And guys, we will see you next week.
Thanks for listening to the Ask Women Podcast. Go to podcast1.com next week for